Dear soul, the angels are very close to you right now. They have surrounded your energy with a gentle light because something important must finally be revealed. They want to bring peace to your spirit and explain the truth behind what has been troubling your heart. The question that has lingered like a quiet ache. Did someone lie to your future spouse about you? And did they finally confess after all this time? This message carries not only answers, but healing, understanding, and divine closure. For too long, you have carried confusion that was never meant to be yours. You have felt the weight of uncertainty, wondering if someone's silence or deception changed the way your destiny was unfolding. The angels have seen your tears, the ones no one else noticed. They have watched you sit in the quiet of your heart, replaying events, asking yourself if the truth was ever spoken in your defense. And now, heaven gently whispers, yes, the truth is surfacing. What was once hidden is coming to light, not to destroy, but to cleanse, to prepare, and to restore what was sacredly meant for you. The real reason behind the silence, the one who needed space, did not withdraw because you were unworthy or because love had faded. They pulled back because they were overwhelmed by truth, a truth they were not ready to face within themselves, let alone reveal to another soul. Inside them was fear, fear of judgment, fear of consequences, fear of being exposed for what they had done or failed to say. Their silence was not strength, but avoidance. And yet, even in that avoidance, heaven was working. Sometimes, the universe allows space not as punishment, but as preparation. This distance was written by divine hands so that both souls could evolve in truth. The person who delayed their confession was facing their own spiritual storm. They were not grounded enough to carry the weight of truth responsibly. So they ran, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. But that very space became their mirror, and in it, they began to see the weight of what they had done. Their silence became their greatest teacher. When they finally confessed, it was not an empty gesture. It came from a breaking point, a place where guilt and divine light collided. Heaven had been watching, waiting for the moment when their conscience could no longer carry the heaviness of what they had buried. The angels witnessed the nights they could not sleep, the tears they shed in secret, the endless replaying of what they could have done differently. They may have spoken your truth late, but that delay was part of divine timing. The truth had to come at a moment when it could heal rather than harm. The divine purpose of delayed truth. You may wonder why truth often takes so long to surface. Why must your heart endure uncertainty when honesty could have set everything right from the start? The angels want you to understand that truth is not only about timing in the physical world, it is also about readiness in the spiritual one. When hearts are not strong enough to handle truth, the universe waits. It delays, not to protect lies, but to prepare souls to receive honesty without destruction. Your future spouse, too, is being guided through divine wisdom. Heaven is helping them discern what really matters. Not just what was said, but why it was said. They are being shown who you truly are, not through human stories, but through signs, dreams, and inner revelations. The truth about you is being written directly into their spirit. Heaven is clearing their perception so they can feel your purity beyond the noise of others' words. What someone tried to distort will no longer stand, because divine light cannot be hidden behind shadows forever. You are not defined by others' silence. Beloved, your angels want to remind you that no one can permanently damage what heaven has ordained. Your identity, your worth, your truth, they are protected in divine records. Even when someone spoke wrongly or stayed quiet when your truth needed defending, heaven recorded everything accurately. The universe does not take sides through gossip. It takes sides through truth. You are not the version someone painted out of fear. You are the soul heaven continues to reveal layer by layer, radiantly and clearly. The space you're in now, the waiting, the silence, the uncertainty is not emptiness. It is sacred ground. It is where the universe breathes between heartbreak and healing. It is where wisdom replaces confusion and forgiveness replaces resentment. Even if it feels like abandonment, it is actually divine grace in disguise. This space was created for reflection, for your spirit to heal, and for others to face what they avoided. Justice through spiritual balance. The one who once hid the truth or delayed speaking it is not in peace. The angels show that this person is spiritually exhausted. Their outer world may look stable, but inside, their soul is unraveling. The stress they now feel is not from being caught. It is from being consumed by their own conscience. Every unspoken word has become heavy. Every lie has turned into pressure. And now, they are being confronted by the divine. The universe is balancing energy. Justice is not revenge. It is realignment. Do not let your heart seek punishment. The angels are handling that. Your role is to let go of the burden of waiting for human justice. What they carry now is enough. You have already paid your share through patience and pain. Now heaven will ensure that they, too, walk the path of accountability. The guilt that weighs them down is not yours to bear. You are free from that storm. Why you were protected, not abandoned. It may seem unfair that you had to suffer because of someone else's silence. You may ask why heaven allowed you to feel forgotten while the one who hurt you continued on. But the truth is, you were being protected. If that person had confessed sooner, it might have caused greater chaos. The angels shielded you from walking beside someone who was not yet spiritually aligned. They kept you in solitude to preserve your peace while they faced their lessons. You were never rejected. You were hidden for divine protection. The confession that has now surfaced is not meant to pull you backward into pain, but to free you. It is heaven's way of clearing the spiritual field, removing the residue of lies so that real love can grow. What you thought was delay was preparation. What you thought was loss was divine redirection. The weight of guilt on the other side, the person who twisted the truth or remained silent is now drowning in their own emotions. This is not because they were exposed publicly, but because they were exposed spiritually. They have realized the depth of pain their choices caused, not just to you, but to the very fabric of the connection that was meant to be sacred. Their heart is weary, their spirit restless. They now understand the value of the honesty they once withheld. The sleepless nights they experience are not punishments, but awakenings. The universe calling them to face what they avoided. And yet, heaven does not wish them harm. Instead, the angels are guiding them to repentance, to healing, to self-forgiveness, because even those who have lied are children of the divine. Their journey of redemption is now beginning, and you must release your attachment to their process. It is no longer your task to wait for them to heal. It is time for you to walk forward into your own light. The healing of your future spouse, the person meant to walk beside you in divine partnership, your future spouse, is being prepared too. Heaven is gently awakening their heart. They are seeing through illusions. They are feeling your energy in dreams, in sudden thoughts, in signs that only they can understand. The angels are guiding them to see your soul beyond any false words spoken about you. Their heart is being rewired to align with truth. They are being shown not who people said you were, but who your spirit truly is. What was once misunderstood will soon be crystal clear. The veil is lifting, and when your future spouse sees you, they will recognize you at a soul level, not as a stranger clouded by others' opinions, but as a divine companion their spirit already knows. Love will return to you, not as confusion, but as clarity. You are free from the burden of proof. You no longer have to explain yourself or fight to be believed. Heaven itself is your witness. Your angels are your defenders. What was done in darkness is being brought into light without your effort. The divine is correcting misunderstandings in the hearts of others. Your name, your spirit, your truth are being spoken by angels in realms beyond human words. This is why the message urges you to rest, to stop rehearsing every detail, to stop reliving what was said or unsaid. You are no longer bound by the timeline of those who wronged you. The universe is already writing the next chapter, one that is built on peace, not pain. You have done your part. You have waited. You have prayed. You have grown stronger through the silence. Now it is time to receive what you have earned. Transformation through truth. The angels see how deeply this experience has affected you. The betrayal was not only about lies. It was about trust being broken. It was about the quiet ache of realizing someone chose fear over honesty. The emotional weight has been heavy, but it has also been transformative. You have learned how to hold yourself in truth even when others fail to. You have learned what it means to love yourself enough to release what does not honor your soul. The person who kept the truth hidden now faces their own reckoning. But you, dear one, are not meant to live waiting for their realization. You are meant to rise. This pain was not a punishment. It was preparation. You were being trained for a higher form of love, one that begins with self-respect and radiates outward. The sacred purpose of the pain. Every wound you've carried has become sacred soil. Through heartbreak, you've learned compassion. Through betrayal, you've discovered clarity. The angels remind you that no experience is wasted in divine order. What seemed like a delay in your love life was actually a spiritual acceleration. It pushed you closer to authenticity, to divine timing, and to a love that matches your higher vibration. The confession that finally came was not the end. It was the beginning of divine realignment. The truth set the stage for healing to occur on all sides. You may still feel sadness, but beneath that sorrow, something powerful is unfolding. Forgiveness, understanding, peace. A new chapter begins. You are stepping into a new phase of your journey, one where love will not be delayed by fear. Your heart is being prepared to receive love that speaks truth from the start, love that sees you clearly, love that honors what was once misunderstood. This is divine justice, not through punishment, but through restoration. The universe is returning to you everything that was lost. In pure form, you are no longer the person who was waiting to be seen. You are the person who now stands in the fullness of your light. You are not the damage someone caused. You are the wisdom born from it. You are not the silence that hurt you. You are the voice that continues to speak love despite it. Final blessing from the angels. Dear child, breathe now. Let your soul relax into divine timing. The angels assure you that nothing meant for you has been lost. Not love, not truth, not destiny. Every delay has only refined your energy. Every betrayal has only clarified your worth. The one who lied or stayed silent has learned their lesson through divine justice. The one who is meant for you is awakening through divine truth. And you, the precious heart who held on through it all, are being blessed with divine peace. Heaven never forgot you. Even when others tried to bury your truth, the divine kept it alive. Your angels are proud of you for not letting bitterness consume you. You have stayed soft, honest, and open even when the world gave you reasons to close. That is divine strength. So now, release the need to understand everything. Trust that the universe is aligning what once fell apart. Trust that your future is being rebuilt in truth. And when the right person sees you, truly sees you, they will not see the version others created. They will see the soul heaven has always seen. You are loved beyond measure. You are protected beyond fear. You are guided beyond confusion. What was hidden is revealed. What was broken is mended. And what was delayed is now arriving in perfect divine time. Breathe in peace. Dear one, your angels are beside you. Your truth is safe. Your heart is free. And your future, your sacred, love-filled, divinely orchestrated future, is still beautifully yours. Dear child, the angels are gently gathering around you again, just as they have in every quiet moment when you wondered if the truth would ever come to light. They have been working silently in the background, in ways that no human eye could see. They have been whispering to hearts, stirring old dreams, and guiding minds to remember what was once forgotten. Heaven has not been idle. Every delay, every silence, every unanswered prayer was not a denial. It was divine preparation. The time for truth has arrived, and your angels are asking you to open your heart to receive it. For a long time, it felt like no one could see your heart clearly. People looked at you, but did not truly understand what was beneath your silence. Some judged your quietness as indifference. Others saw your strength as pride, and a few even twisted your kindness into something to question. But heaven saw everything. The angels saw your patience when you wanted to shout. They saw your tears when no one noticed your pain. They saw the way you continued to love even when your love was misinterpreted. And now, dear one, the very same people who once failed to see your truth are beginning to awaken. A spiritual shift has happened. A veil has lifted from their eyes. Something divine is stirring their conscience and showing them what you tried to express all along. They are beginning to feel what you felt, to understand the depth of your silence, and to recognize the strength it took to hold your peace when you could have defended yourself. This awakening is not accidental. It is divine timing. Heaven does not allow truth to stay buried forever. When the truth begins to rise, it doesn't come softly at first. It comes like light through a closed window, gradually brightening what has long been dim. That is what is happening now. Those who once misunderstood you are seeing the truth not only through logic, but through the deep call of their own souls. They are realizing that what you offered was never manipulation. It was love. It was honesty. It was sacred connection. This realization is changing them. It is not a surface-level guilt. It is something deeper. Their spirit is being moved, and their heart is being humbled. What once was pride is now turning into reflection. What once was denial is turning into repentance. The angels want you to know that when truth rises, it does not just heal stories. It heals souls. It shifts energy. It breaks spiritual walls that once stood between hearts. Perhaps you have felt it already. A sudden lightness, a quiet peace that came without explanation. That was the energy realigning. It was the invisible sign that someone finally whispered the truth aloud. Even if you didn't hear the words, somewhere, the truth was spoken about you. Somewhere, your name was defended. Somewhere, your story was finally told with honesty, and your spirit, so attuned to divine vibration, felt it immediately, because truth always carries light, and light always returns home. But beloved, this moment is not only about being seen, it is about your reward. You did not force anyone to understand you. You did not beg to be heard. You did not use anger or bitterness as your voice. You let your spirit speak for itself. You trusted heaven to carry what words could not. And now that faith, that quiet endurance, is being honored, your integrity is shining brighter than ever before. Heaven is saying, look, child, you were right to trust love. You were right to let time reveal truth. Your angels also want you to know that your future spouse, or the one destined for your heart, is part of this divine awakening. Whether they have already heard the truth from another, or are feeling it rise through their intuition, they are being guided to see you with new eyes. They are remembering your energy, your presence, your compassion, your honesty. They are realizing that what once seemed uncertain was never confusion. It was divine timing. They are being led to understand that you were never the problem. You were the blessing they almost missed. Still, this revelation does not erase the past. It doesn't undo what was said or left unsaid, but it opens a sacred door, a gate toward healing and reconciliation. It is a moment of divine justice, not the kind that punishes, but the kind that restores. This is heaven's way of balancing the scales, of bringing truth where misunderstanding once ruled. The angels are asking you to breathe this in, to feel what it's like to finally be understood. Not halfway, but fully, from soul to soul. Let that understanding melt the old pain in your heart. Let it remind you that heaven never stopped working on your behalf. Even when it looked like the world had forgotten you, the divine kept your story alive in unseen places. The person who once misunderstood you may now feel the weight of what they did. They may feel remorse. They may wish to come forward and ask for forgiveness. And if they do, the angels will walk with you. You are not required to reopen every door. You are not obligated to let everyone back in. But you are invited to let the new energy of truth soften your spirit. What you carried in silence is now being seen. What was distorted is now being corrected. The misunderstanding that once separated hearts is becoming a bridge for healing, and not only in your external relationships, but within you as well. The parts of yourself that once felt silenced are now being embraced by truth. Stand tall in this moment, not with pride, but with peace. You were right to hold on to love even when it hurt. You were right to keep faith in a time of confusion. You were right to believe that light would one day reveal what darkness tried to hide. And now that time has come. The angels want to help you release what no longer serves your spirit. You are no longer invisible. Your truth is no longer hidden. The world is catching up to what heaven already knew about you, that you are worthy, seen, and divinely guided. Yet, as one truth rises, another often follows. And so, another layer of awakening has begun. Someone who once kept secrets or hid the full story has finally confessed. But this confession brings mixed emotions. It brings clarity, yes, but it also reopens wounds, because the truth, while freeing, can also hurt when it arrives late. You may ask, why did they wait until now? Why did they let things fall apart before speaking the truth? The angels understand this pain. They see the ache of it in your soul. This confession is not meant to wound you further. It is meant to release you. The one who withheld the truth is now realizing the full impact of their choices. They are being guided through a deep spiritual reckoning. Heaven is showing them how their silence shaped events, how their choices caused ripple effects far beyond what they understood. This is their awakening, their purification. And though their sorrow may not fix the past, it marks the beginning of a divine balance being restored. The angels want you to trust that even in this, heaven is working for your good. The breaking of another's spirit is not meant to cause you joy, but to show that divine order always prevails. When someone lies about a soul of light, the lie eventually collapses under the weight of its own falsehood. And that is what is happening now. The truth is resurfacing, not to reopen chaos, but to bring divine alignment. Your name, your energy, your story are being purifying. The one meant for you, your divine counterpart, is beginning to feel the difference between illusion and reality. They are sensing that the stories told about you never matched the energy they felt in your presence. They are beginning to see that love cannot be measured by logic or opinion, but only by truth and divine recognition. This realization may not be instant. It may unfold slowly, like dawn, but the angels want you to know that this process is holy. It is heaven's way of making sure that the next chapter of your life is built on truth, not confusion. You are also being called to release any resentment that lingers, not because what happened was right, but because your spirit deserves freedom. The angels remind you, healing does not mean letting others escape accountability. It means freeing yourself from the emotional weight of what they did. You no longer need to carry the burden of their choices. Even now, your angels are helping you release the energy of waiting. You've waited for apologies, for clarity, for someone to see what they missed. You've waited with grace, but waiting can become heavy when you don't know when it ends. The angels say this waiting is not punishment. It is transformation. This is the sacred pause before something divine takes root. The one who confessed may now seem distant. They may be struggling to process their emotions. They are not avoiding you because you are unworthy, but because they are facing their own reflection for the first time. They are learning to see how they created pain, and they are not ready to speak because the truth is still reshaping them. Heaven is walking with them through this collapse. For you, dear one, this silence is not rejection. It is divine protection. It is space being created so that truth can settle, so that love can rebuild from an honest foundation. The angels are keeping you safe from the emotional storm that follows revelation. They are asking you to trust this pause, to breathe, to rest. Not everything needs to be rushed into clarity. Some truths need quiet time to mature into peace. Do not let this silence make you question your value. You are not waiting for someone to choose you. You are waiting for the divine plan to complete itself. And when it does, you will see why things unfolded this way. The person who is meant to walk beside you will do so with awareness, not confusion. The connection that returns to you will be grounded in truth, not illusion. Heaven is clearing your path. What was spoken in darkness is being brought to light. What was twisted by fear is being untangled by love. And your role now is to rest in that truth. You do not need to fix anyone. You do not need to prove anything. You simply need to be. You have walked through one of the deepest lessons of the soul, the lesson of trust, truth, and surrender. And through it all, you have remained a vessel of light. You have learned that truth does not need to shout. It stands patiently until it is seen. The angels are proud of you. They whisper blessings over you now. Peace for your mind, healing for your heart, and strength for your spirit. They remind you that you were never forgotten. Even when the world misjudged you, heaven recorded your every act of love, your every tear, your every prayer. This chapter, beloved, is not the end. It is the beginning of a new era where your truth stands tall, where your name is cleared, and where your love is seen as sacred. You are walking into a season of divine clarity, emotional peace, and deep recognition. Let your heart rest in the knowing that heaven's justice is not revenge. It is restoration. It is making right what was wrong in divine order, divine timing, and divine love. And as you move forward, know this: you will no longer need to beg for understanding. You will no longer have to prove your purity or your heart. Those who come into your life now will already see you through the light of truth. Your story is no longer one of being misunderstood. It is one of divine revelation. You are the living proof that love, when rooted in truth, can survive anything. So breathe, child of light. The angels are with you. The truth has risen, and heaven is turning every wound you carried into a doorway for your next miracle. You are seen. You are loved. You are finally understood.